I have on the podcast Michael Wilson, who spends millions of dollars a month for companies, getting them the exposure that they need, and all the data that he's collected from all this ad spend is insane. If I'm a solopreneur, why should I care about paid ads right now?
I tell all solopreneurs, no matter what level you are, 90% of your time in the marketing space should be trying to identify how can you be the solution to someone's problem. Then you're able to amplify that aspect of marketing with being able to do your own paid ads. Ads just isn't about posting a piece of content and running an advertisement to it. Most people just want to sell, but most people don't want to be able to understand the buyer's mind and understand how to actually convert them.
And what makes up marketing is something that I believe every business owner should obsess about. It's a skill.
Yeah, 100%.
You've been able to work that skill for a lot of years.
The basic that everybody should understand is that.
So I have to say, I'm like all organic.
Yeah.
So anytime a conversation comes up where we're talking paid, I have a little bit of resistance. Because just my personal journey and entrepreneurial journey has been built, and it's even what I teach, building that organic audience. And so, you've been doing paid marketing for 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. Yeah.
Like, really quickly, tell me, why should I care about paid ads right now?
It's a great accompaniment to what you have on the organic side, first off. So I definitely commend you for that, of starting there, because that helps you be able to scope out what is working. It helps us build that authentic relationship with the audience. Paid just amplifies everything that you already have going on. So, but
let me just, I know, but there are people I know that don't have an organic following whatsoever, and are just killing it and are like super rich.
100%. 100%. I think I had to give you your props first, because oftentimes what happens when people are on the pay and they're crushing it is it's a continuous loop that they have to continuously find what's working. And
so if they're not putting money into the machine, it doesn't kicking it out.
Put anything back. So let's say if an ad account goes down, now they have to lean on the email list, which can work, while you can lean on your email list plus your organic that you already have going. So why you should get them paid is because you can be able to collect all of that data that you are coming to your website, coming to your channels. It literally just amplifies everything that you already have in existence. So what you're already doing, just 10x it when you add paid to it. Okay,
so how did you get the first kind of paid ads? Was that Facebook for you?
Yeah, that was Facebook ads and Instagram ads.
How'd you get exposed to it? Because you got exposed to it at a very young age, and in all honesty, it's a skill.
Yeah, 100%.
And you've been able to work that skill for a lot of years. But
my cousin Darian.
Shout out to Darian.
Yeah, shout out to Darian, of course, my boy. Crazy thing is, he's actually on the marketing side for organic. For B2B brands. So he worked with a lot of different SaaS companies. But he introduced it to me when we were in high school. He said, yo, you got to check out this concept called drop shipping. So that's what my journey started with. The whole marketing space and understanding it was just from the whole realm of being able to sell a product to an individual without actually housing that specific product. So I'm able to sell you this specific watch, show you it online, you pay me the certain amount, then I go pay my supplier and they ship it directly to you. So I found the concept really dope and interesting back in high school, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to get into this for sure.
And we were talking last night, and you were saying the term of the person that most business owners, if not all business owners, would you say every business owner needs this person?
100%. Every business owner needs this person.
It would be a media buyer?
Media buyer, yes.
Okay. I know a lot of people don't know what that term even means. Can you define what a media buyer is?
Yeah. So a media buyer is just someone who is being able to run your advertisement. That's as simple as it can be.
Okay.
So someone who's solely responsible for advertisement, similar to a project manager, is very sole purpose is to manage the specific projects, to, hold accountable different parties, right? Just like a CEO, their responsibility is to be able to cast a vision. It's just a role inside of a company, and it's in a segment of the marketing department.
Okay. So, and So, because like the way I would say, if I needed somebody, I would say I need a paid ads person.
Paid ads person, yeah, but
media buyer would be
the official term.
The official term,
yeah, the official term of that paid ads person that you're looking for.
And like if we go big picture, like the reason why you would say, and I would even say, I'm getting into the paid marketing side of things. I'm working with a friend of mine.
Yeah,
but is that overarch like what makes up a business? You know, it's marketing, leads,
100%,
sales and fulfillment.
Yep.
And so like literally 33% of a business is simply marketing.
Yep.
And what makes up marketing is something that I believe every business owner should obsess about.
100%.
Because how somebody finds you is going to be why somebody buys from you.
100%.
And how people, you know, how you build trust online is why people are going to buy things.
100%.
And if we were to say 30% of every business is made up of marketing, if not maybe more, that if you break that up, we should have these like kind of pillars.
100%.
So you spend millions of dollars a month on ads.
millions of dollars a month just across all different brands. Yeah.
How would you say like a healthy pillar or like healthy balance in a business marketing standpoint would be? Like as far as like, okay, this much time should be attributed to this much money, like.
Yeah, so it all depends on the level of the brand. So if we're talking about a startup, if you will.
I think most people that listen to the department would be like either solopreneurs,
yeah,
or like entrepreneurs with a fairly decent sized team.
Yeah, so without a doubt, the 90% of your time in the marketing space should be trying to identify how can you be the solution to someone's problem. That's it. That's all. The more you obsess about the problems and the cycle of problems that an individual have inside of your industry, the easier it is for you to be able to keep them longer period of time.
Yep.
For example, if we look at Apple, right, they are able to transition from using wireless headphones to from wired headphones to wireless headphones. So they knew the problem that will cause from the wired headphones. Right. So it's not that they stopped selling you headphones. They just improved it with the new problem that you will have, which is, hey, I'm tired of loose ends on my cords or my cord not working. I have to wingle it here, wingle it there, or, you know, whatever the case may be in regards to the different problems that wired headphones have. They knew that they had to elevate to be able to sell you a different product.
Yeah.
And just know the cycle. They know the cycle of issues that you have.
That's
similar
good.
to batteries. I mean, that's the same way.
Yeah. Okay. So but if I'm a solopreneur and I'm like trying to plan out my marketing, would you say like go find somebody to do it for you?
No, I think that's the biggest issue that a lot of people have as a solopreneur is that you hire without any sort of knowledge. You need to be able to identify yourself, all aspects of marketing, so you can have some sort of direction, and lay the foundation for yourself. So it's easier for you ultimately to create content. I tell all solopreneurs, no matter what level you are, the easiest way for you to be able to create content is being able to show your journey. So the more that you understand how to show your journey, the more you're able to understand, again, the problems of the individuals, connect with the audience, then you're able to amplify that aspect of marketing with being able to do your own paid ads.
Yeah. And like, how was that for you? Because you came in, like, what year would that have been? 2017?
2016, 2017.
So you're learning like Facebook ads in 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
But then you're also, and I mean, I would say it's like post 2020, this rise in like entrepreneur, like personal brand, like organic, you know, audience building. What's your observation on how all that, like that? Because you're I don't know, like I wasn't doing paid ads, right?
Yeah.
So, and I was doing a lot of videos for other companies and when I had my agency and stuff.
Yeah.
And again, it was just all organic stuff.
Yeah. So the observation that I have had is that on a wide scale of things, the basis of how to run paid ads is only shifted just a little bit. And strategy, it hasn't been a huge change in the aspect of how you're supposed to market. It's become way more trendy marketing strategies than the core aspect of how to actually connect all of your dots for marketing. And I feel like I learned that now better than I did before. We work in bigger companies. It's just not about picking up a creative and posting it and then running ads to it. You have to actually think of the journey. And I think that's what most people have shortcutted the process, is that most people just want to sell, but most people don't want to be able to understand the buyer's mind and understand how to actually convert them. Right. Yeah, I think it's just a shortcut. Even, before in my earlier years, and I can say I was naive to this as well, is that ads just isn't about posting a piece of content and running an advertisement to it. The other half of it is also understanding that your website converts very well. So now you have to think about a whole different, again, journey of how's my language from coming from the actual video that I'm posting to what's my description looking like, or what is my image looking like that matches that same thing. So I think it's moving slowly, but a lot of people are starting to understand more that, hey, I have to take people through a journey because this posting is not working anymore.
Like, have you ever like crushed a successful ad with an image?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. How do you see video versus image paid marketing?
They both hold their role. Image is able to be able to sway someone quicker. Video is able to emotionally connect better with you. And I think that's the biggest difference, really is that I'm able to sway your emotions and get you emotionally connected through a journey that you're obsessed about. Especially if I'm good at storytelling. Images is able to really hone in on educational aspects specifically. Like something that is really doing really good on paid ads right now is the this or that. So this is my benefits of my product versus that is what you're experiencing with other people, and it's able to speak directly to what your current problem is, right? So
this or that.
I'm able to persuade that person much quicker because I'm able to hit their pain points much faster than with a video. I got to make sure I'm able to capture their attention and emotionally tie them into the actual video that I'm running.
Hey, question for you. What would your business look like if it got the attention that it deserved? You probably wouldn't even have a business problem. Most people don't have a business problem, they have an awareness problem. This is why you're invited to join me on the next Content to Cash Challenge that is coming up. In 5 days, you're gonna be getting the system that I have implemented in my business that's allowed me to be a part-time 7-figure entrepreneur. Yes, because I built my personal brand online, it's opened up opportunity, but more importantly, it's given me more time to spend with my family and my community. The link to join this challenge is down in the description below, and I want to encourage you to take the VIP experience where I'll be doing 1 hour of Q&A every day of the challenge, and nowhere else do I avail myself in this capacity. And so I hope to see you on the Content to Cash Challenge coming up. That's a gem right there.
Yeah.
This or that. That's just a piece of content.
That's a piece of content.
Okay. Do you have other ones that are just working
really well? As far as static images, another big thing is I was just talking about this on my live.
I think even video, this or that.
Oh, this or that, 100%. Yeah. Video with a split screen and being able to show transition. Yeah. And this or that is also can go to before and after.
Yes.
But one of the things that work very well on static images, if you understand colorization, if you get really good at understanding what colors make someone makes a decision, you would be very good at being able to convey that person to be able to sell them. So the better you learn what green means, what red, yellow, different color combinations, that works very well. Another thing that works very well is, I'll tell this, is being able to take social platform, being able to take, for example, Twitter, right? I'm able to take what Twitter looks like and be able to put my product inside of it and then just have a comment at the top with comments at the bottom. And you basically imagine taking a screenshot of Twitter, a Twitter post, and then being able to put your product there and put another profile picture of another person as if someone else is talking about your product. That has gone very, very wild for me with a lot of the brands, especially on the Facebook side, because it's a sense of social proof.
Yeah.
It's a sense of being able to create a customer review without just having a box where it said this customer said this. It makes it more official that, hey, this was a Twitter post that was posted, or even like a magazine post, like being able to see that, hey, your product was featured on this fake magazine. Those are great static images that has performed very well for a lot of brands as well.
What has been like the craziest ad ROI you've ever seen?
That's interesting because most brands for me now look more towards profitability. So we don't even return on investment is more so not what normal people are used to, which is ROAS. Yeah. Like, what is my ROAS? That's what most people say. But that is you can fluctuate that easy. If you're a good media buyer, you know how to fluctuate it to make it look good.
Return on ad spend.
Return on ad spend is ROAS. But what we mainly focus in on is MER, which is marketing efficiency rate, which is all of your revenue divided by all of your marketing dollars, which actually shows your true profitability that's coming inside of your account rather than ROAS. Now, one of the best, like craziest things is being able to hit at a 12% MER, which MER? Is really good. That means MER is marketing efficiency rate.
Okay, yeah.
So it's really good because you're making, in a sense of, if we want to compare it to ROAS, every dollar that I spend, I'm averaging $7. Yeah. So every dollar that I spend, $7 in return, but the profitability is there. Inside of the MER.
So just a bigger picture.
It's just a way bigger picture because you're not just focusing in on TikTok or Facebook alone. You're combining all of your marketing dollars to really show that success that you're actually having. And again, in the sense of, to your question, a 7X is what I see sustain over, and that's a good part, being able to sustain over a 6-month period. Okay. Just holding a 7X on the same creative, same campaigns. We made small tweaks to it, but that I feel like that's the craziest it can get.
That's really good.
It's insane.
Yeah, because like if somebody's trying to find like if an entrepreneur freshens up their skills, and you find like a media buyer, you said a media buyer they should be in charge of the pre-marketing, during the marketing, and then after the post, like the creative. So pre, during, and after. What is that? Well, like, because I think a lot of people get burned by people say, "Hey, we'll just run ads for you."
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So
I hear that all the time.
So how do you can you help us identify the like people who are really good at those 3 elements?
Yeah. So there's things that I teach CEOs to do. Is you need to be able to create like an assessment test in a sense. So you'll put together a series of different questions that would allow you to be able to identify those 3 different areas. So let's break it down. Pre-production. So you want to just be able to test them out on, give me one of the creative strategies that you use for a brand that helped you to be able to have a conversation with someone that didn't know anything, with the CEO that didn't know anything, right? So for you, right, with the podcast, you moving over to pay, I will sit and I will consult with you and let you know, okay, cool, let's first identify what do you already have as an established brand, and or what is it that you're looking to be able to establish, and let's create some creative strategy around being able to do some paid ads, right? So first, just understanding on the do they have creative strategist ability? If they can't come up with different creative ideas, if they can't give you any type of video content ideas, that's already a red flag.
They're just out of touch.
Yeah, they're not just out of touch. They won't be able to fulfill their job because the purpose of a media buyer in the during session now is to be able to test, to be able to go to the post production, to be able to now report back to you to say, hey, based on the data that I've seen and that I noticed and my expertise as a creative strategist, I suggest that you change this, or I suggest that you change this color, like that we was talking about earlier, and or this hook needs to be different, right? So you need some sort of understanding of how to create creatives inside of your pre-production.
Okay.
Your during production is probably the easiest. That just comes down with account setup, account structure. So most people you won't really have to worry about this stage, because ultimately you want that person to be able to run a conversion campaign and a retargeting campaign. It's just that simple for startup companies. Now, when you get into bigger companies that are spending $2,000, $3,000 per day and plus, that's when you start to create the different kind of account structure, which looks like brand awareness campaigns, which is just exposure, being able to run more conversion campaigns, and it's just more complex with different objectives. So you really don't want to have to worry about that. So the during phase, you really just have to make sure that they understand how to run a conversion and how to run a retargeting. That's simple. Now, post is very important. It's just as important as the pre, because now I need to come back and tell you, okay, cool. Based off the data, these are the metrics that every single business owner, you need to be able to have these metrics reported to you on a bi-weekly basis. One of them is a CTR. CTR is a click-through rate that shows you the percentage of people that is clicking from your ad and going to your website.
That's so funny because that's like YouTube number one.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
And these are your 2 seed formats. The second one that you should be reported is a CPM, which is also YouTube. Cost per milli. Milli's French for 1,000.
Yeah.
How much does it cost you to be able to present one piece of content to 1,000 people, right? And based off of that and your industry averages, that will tell you the direction of the success or the failure on the front half of your advertisement. The second half of your advertisement, which also they need to be aware of because it's very important, the main 2 metrics, there should be 4 metrics total. First, we have CTR, then we have CPM for your advertisement. So what you run on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Now, the second half is on your website. So that's your AOV, which stands for average order value. So how much is every customer, the average or value of the dollar that the customer is spending, and then your conversion rate, which is your percentage of how many people are actually converted when they actually hit your website. That is the 4 main metrics that every single media buyer should be reporting to you. 2 metrics are in Shopify. The other 2 are in your actual social platforms. And during that, they're able to gather all that information and then be able to say, hey, we need to adjust this or adjust that. Because most times, I would tell you, it's not about the front half, which is the actual ads. What it really is about the website and adjustment of the small things there.
Dang, it's a science.
I know that was a lot. That was a lot,
but I mean, it's funny because like a lot of those terms are very similar when you package a YouTube video.
Yep.
But even YouTube pays you out per every 1,000 viewers. Like my CPM on YouTube is like, I think it's like $20 to $23.
Good.
But it's funny how it's just for a different way of marketing.
100%. It's very synonymous, which is why I say it'll be easy because, again, for you, organic, or anybody out there that have a great organic space, you ever say, hey, this CPM is at $8.63. That's a great indicator. Let's just put some money behind it to explode what you've already built.
Yeah. I know this is like an odd question, but because I think of it like it's something you turn on and you're constantly putting money inside of it. Yeah. Like when do you know when to like stop or pull back?
Yeah, that's just looking at things. And that comes in the post part too, actually. So you understanding content pieces, when it's doing well, you want to analyze it on a 7 to 14 day attribution window. Attribution window is how the platform is reporting the data to you. And most platforms, they have delayed attribution. So not all conversions will pop up. You purchase on Monday, it may not populate until Thursday, right? Okay. So on a 14-day, you have to analyze to be able to track and see, okay, my first 14 days, what it looked like. I was doing very good. Great, no problem. Now, keep letting it run. Don't touch it. Scale, of course, is necessary, but we'll jump into that later in the conversation. But the next 14 days, you want to analyze to see, okay, am I trending up or am I trending down? So I'm looking at my CTR, looking at my CPM. Did it rise? Did it fail? If it's falling, that means that I need to make some adjustments to the creative, and or the creative is just going bad. So I just need to pause it and continuously test. So that's the aspect of knowing. It's just checking every 14 days if the creative is doing well, and you quantify this creative as something that is a good performance.
So good. Another thought that came to mind while we were hanging yesterday was like this being a business model.
Oh, 100%.
Like, there are agencies that are like, hey, for $5,000 a month, we'll make this many YouTube videos, this many shorts, and this many reels for organic, but people could start a business where you are, you get to work off a computer essentially.
100%. That's been my life for the past 7 years.
Yeah. And yeah, like, because I think of 2 people. I think of somebody who's like would love to have either side income of running ads for companies and businesses, and or like within a business, having somebody in-house just run it.
Able to do it. For sure. So yeah, this can go 2 ways. You can get employed as a media buyer, which is a great thing. Like you can go work for TikTok, you can go work for Facebook, you can go work for any of your favorite brands and be employed as a W-2 employee to be able to run advertising, which is great. So you can come out of high school and do that if you want to. But also you can go the route that I've taken is to go out and search for clients to be able to also do the advertisement as well. Then your third option is just working with a marketing agency that does all the marketing for you, and you just receive clients on a monthly basis and get paid out to be able to do that. So as far as the business aspect of it, it has a lot of rewards to it, but it's also very, very challenging if you are afraid to communicate. I think this is a conversation that we had yesterday, is that it forced me to learn how to communicate, because now you're responsible for somebody else's baby, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to communicate and know and not be afraid of failing, because that's the art of marketing. The art of marketing is knowing how to fail.
Come on.
If you know how to fail, that means you can be able to progress and grow, because you're able to identify a problem, which furthermore allows you to create a solution. Right? So communication is probably going to be the biggest thing that you have to work on and grow at, no matter what stage it is, when you are owning a business. And let me give you an example. When working with startups, they're more frank and they want to be able to know up to $1 million, let's say, right? Yeah. They want to know, okay, cool, updates, different things like that. And you're more so pushing them to be able to to be able to spend more. If ads are going great, hey, you should spend more here, but the growth of the company, it may not work. But then on the flip side, with me working with $180 million companies, they're like, hey, you are required to spend $250,000 in the first 2 weeks. If you don't do that, we need an explanation to why you didn't do it, because this is a requirement, right? So now you have to be able to make sure, with creatives or no creatives, you got to be really creative on ensuring that you are achieving the success of what they require. So you got two different sides of communication that you have to learn, of saying, hey, I need more creatives and be able to step up and firmly say certain things to people, but also on the opposite side, be able to encourage people and push them, say, hey, you're missing out on a lot of opportunity. It's time for you to really take it to the next level.
Wow, that's really good. I always like to say that, like, marketing's beta.
Yeah, it's beta.
Every time.
It's beta. There's no, if you just feel like you're just sitting in the right, you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
You should be always testing. You should be doing something to advance, because in marketing, or rather with doing ads, the thing that collects all the data is a pixel, right? So you know how you strain your body when you're working out or when you're eating, whatever you feed it is going to continuously adapt to that. So the more that you break your muscles down and build it back up, you have a new physique. You have a new mentality. You have a new level of discipline. Yeah. That's the same way that you have to look at the pixel. Is the moment I stop testing is the moment that is going to get used to only being successful with this certain type of creative, this certain type of ad structure. So you got to always keep the ball moving when you're, or testing rather, when you run advertisement.
That's really good. Yeah, it's crazy because like I have a friend who, dude, the level he crushes his organic personal brand at, like he did almost $5 million last year, has an in-person event where he sells out 1,000 tickets to.
Insane.
As a mastermind, great offers, and like has not put $1 in ad spend.
Wow.
And I think he knows that like at some point you can exhaust a market or an industry.
Yeah.
But like he knows that like that's kind of his next step.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, and I know it's my next step.
Yeah.
It's just tough because of like that didn't get me here.
Yeah, 100%.
But and then you were saying earlier in the conversation, well, there's people who started with paid ads and it got them good cash, but they as soon as they're done, their business is out of business.
100%. Yeah. Especially if they're not doing that aspect. I want to add this caveat. Especially if they're not doing that the business or they've been intentional rather to being able to build relationships with your audience. Right. The reason why they followed you is from a piece of content, not because they were emotionally invested or they was connected with you. Yeah. Right. So the more followers that you get means absolutely nothing if they don't even have that relationship or that ear to your voice when you're calling them.
Yeah. And when you start, if you were to start running ads for like a guy like me, would you run it to people that already follow me and just for the exposure piece? Because like, I know when I post something, I have almost 100,000 followers on Instagram. Yeah. If I post something, or 70,000 on YouTube. Yeah. If I post a video, not everyone's gonna see it.
Yeah.
Is there a level of paid ads that's just for that, or no? Is this just like eyes of people based on their activity online?
Yeah, great question. It all depends on, for you, if you've already had your pixel set up inside of your website or any destination collecting all this great organic. If you don't have that, it almost means nothing for a paid person. It's like, hey, you got a great organic, that's phenomenal, but paid, this pixel, your baby hasn't grown. It's like you still have a newborn that hasn't, came out, right? Yeah. So if you do have that pixel though, it allows me to be able to capture your current audience information and be able to use it to be able to go tell the platform, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, I want similar people just like these people, because these people have performed very well in what it is that I'm looking for.
Okay.
So take this group of 10 people and go find me 100 of these same 10 people. And that's simply called a lookalike audience. So that's what I would start with you. It's just taking what you already have, build a lookalike audience around it, and then be able to tell the platform to match the identity, the purchase, the buying behavior.
But you're saying if I didn't have a pixel to begin with, it's like I'm kind of starting from scratch.
You started from scratch because it hasn't collected no data.
And Facebook owns pixels.
And Facebook owns
like
pixels.
They created this whole thing.
Yeah, they created it.
Everything we're talking about, Facebook pretty much essentially online.
Essentially.
Online ads are pretty much started by Meta.
Yeah, started by Meta, and
dude, the amount of money they're making, bro,
it's insane. So the amount of money that they're making per day is absolutely beyond this world.
Yeah,
beyond this world. Because you got to think about it. Not just the brands. It's not the brands that spend the most money. It's the people that run ads that don't know what they're doing. It's far more greater people that don't know what they're doing that's spending $100 than people who are actually spending $1,000 a day.
Yeah,
100%.
That's crazy.
It's insane the amount of just testing that a lot of people do that gets no results that ultimately goes to Facebook's pockets.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. It's wild to think that like now like really seeing the business model of Facebook and thinking that it was a social media platform, but no, it was just, I would say it's like a freeway.
Yeah, 100%.
And
it's a freeway.
And they own the billboards and the buildings on the side of the freeway that we 100%. Look at.
And it's a game. Do you want to partner with them and being the builders of that, or do you want to be the car that's driving past? You determine it.
Yeah.
And you made that decision based off of, which side which side that you want to be on.
That's crazy. That actually boils it down and makes it more simple that it's just one platform. Because like, dude, I it's crazy how ignorant I am when it comes to paid ads. Like I think it's just like this like back end weird thing, but it's like I'm learning. It's like, nah, dude, it's facebook.business.com or whatever, and connect your account to this media buyer's account and let them just do their thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so like something right now is you're pretty excited about TikTok ads.
Man, I've been loving it since 2020.
Does Facebook own TikTok ads?
Or no, TikTok owns TikTok ads. Yeah. But what TikTok did do is take the foundation that Facebook has built to be able to lay their own foundation, and all the mess ups that Facebook did do, TikTok is doing a little bit better.
Wow.
A little bit better for sure.
So like, what have you seen and tested on TikTok?
Man, since 2020, I've worked with and tested a whole lot when it comes down to really trying to identify what works and how to effectively be able to run effective TikTok ads. And the basic that everybody should understand is that broad audience works very well. But 95% of the success that comes from TikTok ads is understanding that creative strategies that we talked about earlier.
Okay.
If you're able to understand how to create creatives, you would do phenomenal on TikTok ads. No question asked, no thoughts about it. Like, I can guarantee you that you would do an amazing job. And it's the biggest weight of success for TikTok because it's all based on how well you can be able to create a video creative.
Yeah.
That's it. There's trying to squeeze in like images and different things like that, but the core of what TikTok has done is being able to excel in short form content, and that's what Instagram failed at, and they saw it. And
is that like all through the app, or is it like a desktop website?
Yeah. Well, boosting like Instagram is through the app for TikTok, but of course you want to go through the back office and have an actual ads manager where you can be able to control and see all the data that you want to be able to see and collect the data.
And TikTok created that.
Well, they took the foundation of what Facebook has, because Facebook has the same back office as well. Like ads.facebook is similar to ads.tiktok or ads.snapchat. They all have their own back office that controls that pixel that each company owns.
So good.
Yeah. So that broad audience is what performs well. And whether it's you spending $100 a day, or with my experience being able to spend up to $10,000+ per day, broad audience still reigns. The purpose and the what you want to do is make sure that you build a great lookalike audience. Okay. I mean, it cannot get better than that. And the way that you do that is just testing, getting conversions. Once you find a campaign that performs very well and getting the results that you want, you just create an audience around that, and then you just continue to let the platforms do their thing because they're smarter than you.
Would you say TikTok is more for like physical product stuff, or does digital products do well on TikTok?
Oh yeah, digital products do very well too because TikTok has the lowest CPMs. They have the lowest CPMs out of all platforms. So I'm able to hit 1,000 people more easily than I am on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
So if you want that top line brand awareness to bring a lot of voice to your name, your YouTube channel, brand awareness will crush it. And then from there on, again, you just have to be very good with digital products with creating consistent content. I think that's a downfall. People think that you can run ads and that can be the supplement to your organic and your community base and your connection, when that's not the case. You got to still have this and that, ads and connection, not just ads and expect for it to be able to actually work.
Sick. Yeah. Dude, what do you see for like the future of marketing?
Going back to long form content.
For real?
100%. Yeah. 100%. Which is why YouTube will always reign.
Yeah.
Is because short form has been a great, but a lot of people have learned from TikTok that the aspect of information is so easy to obtain. It is difficult for you to be able to find one that you trust because how short it is. So someone who can sit down and educate and can interview, that's starting to bring more trust to the actual consumer, which is why fake podcast ads have worked very well. It's because you seem more professional than someone just picking up a camera. Now, don't get me wrong, short form content will have its lane and it will still perform very well, but I do see a turn back to more long form, more commercial style advertisement working very well. Even with my bigger clients, we have geared more back towards high quality commercial style content because they last longer. And yeah, I see that. And something that I think I talked to you about this yesterday, or I was talking to Neo, being able to build out a full strategy. It's no longer just launching a conversion ad. It's really about the different stages that you have that is going to allow you to really be able to have that success. Because so many people are pushing out content so much, you have to now fill the gap in every area that you're not in. For example, a brand awareness campaign, right? Being able to run and initiate checkout, which is basically you're telling a platform, hey, I want this person to be able to be able to just go to the initiate checkout and leave. This helps your data because it gets you closer to the person that's willing to buy versus the person that wants to just be able to window shop on your website, right? Yeah. So being able to really create all these different stages, your conversion ad, then going to your retargeting ad, and then even to the aspect of something that I see working very well too is pushing an audience to just a landing page that allows you to be able to collect emails. That way you're able to nurture them through email marketing as well, which is far more greater in value and cheaper than any paid ads platform that's out there, is being able to have an email list. So it's layers, really building layers out, because no longer will just putting ads out perform very well. You got to really be more intentional.
Dude, so enlightening. I always like to say that email has no algorithm.
100%.
You send out an email, you go to the top.
Yeah. 100%. It's and you have to be able to have your own voice. Yeah. And that's the thing about email, is when you have that branded voice, you have the identity of what your brand looks like, you'll be really good. And I posted about this in January. The biggest thing that I see working, that I see is going to perform very well, is first party data, which is the platform collects all the data, like YouTube collects all the data, and first party shopping, which is very similar to TikTok Shop. Okay. People being able to buy things in app is probably going to be the number one thing, and live shopping is, those two things are going to be the main things that I feel like the economy is going to shift to in the next year and a half, but through long form. So us sitting here talking, but they could click a link to buy this mic because they like the way that it sounds while they're watching a video. Boom. Things like that, I feel like is going to perform very well.
Gary V's projection was like, we'll be able to like click the shirt or the pants of a person.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, like I could see that, potentially 100%. Happening, but no, I think that's really cool. Like this, like even that's game right there. Even this podcast was shot with this stuff.
Yep, start with this. If you want to go purchase it.
Yeah.
And people are able to purchase because, again, that long form content, that aspect, especially if you're a niche page, it's easy for you to just be able to sell stuff live because, again, the thing that I've always done, and I've never been someone to hold back any sort of information. I'm gonna give you everything that I have because I know I'm studying every day to fill my cup back up.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're very informational, you're very direct, you're very like, do this, that live shopping is going to excel so well because you're giving me the platform, like X platform to be able to work on, to report data. I'm able to click that immediately through affiliates or whatever and start my process because you just gave me the step-by-steps.
So good. You got me something to think about. Dude, where can people find you?
On Instagram at I am Michael Wilson. TikTok the same way.
And bro, you got to post more.
Yes, I have to. Yeah, I have to. That's the thing. But by the time this do come out, y'all see a whole lot of content. But don't worry about that.
But it's also knowing your lane. You know?
100%.
I always like to tell people, because people think that like my podcast is a podcast for known people. I was telling you, I know the department is for people that know what they're doing. Yeah. And you don't have to be known for knowing what you're doing. Yeah. And the amount of information you gave and just however long this was, it just showed that you are an expert. Yeah. But that's why I teach people how to build their personal brands. Yeah. Because if people can just like make that easy connection, then it's a wrap.
Yeah, that's what we got. And I think the biggest thing for me has been that since I've been so much on the corporate side, they don't care about what you have on your social media. Neither are they really following you. Yeah. They're going to sit you down. They want to talk. Okay, cool. What can you do? How can you do it? You assess my company after that. Okay, cool. And they mostly looked on LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn I'm more strong on just because of the fact that, that's where all of more corporate clients, bigger clients that, I'm able to really work with and challenge me are on. But now that I'm moving more into the entrepreneurship space and educating people, I already know. I got to dig deep into.
Yeah, cut this podcast up, bro. Post the clips from this pod, and 100%. I think it'll be awesome. And you're so good at already articulating and delivering the stuff. Dude, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.
Man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.